All right, Biafrans, let's take a look on this video. Let's watch and know whether what the Trump is saying about the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is true or not true. But however, if it is true, it is a welcome development because this is what we are praying for. And also on this video, you are going to see how the Finland will take frame up to blackmail Mazi Simon Ekpa. Please, let's watch this video with a pure heart. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Let's watch. Don't go anywhere. You will not regret it. Enjoy.
Tell the truth. We must say it as an island. I am calling very strongly for the immediate release of Nnamdi Kanu. He has been unjustly detained, persecuted, and silenced simply because he stood up for his people. He raised his voice for the Igbo people, and for that, he has been punished. That is not democracy. That is not freedom. That is persecution. The Igbo people are some of the most talented, resilient, and innovative people in Africa. They have built businesses, they have contributed to the economy, they have survived a terrible civil war, and yet, decades later, they are still treated as second-class citizens in their own country. This is wrong, totally wrong. And let me say this, when a government fears the voice of its own citizens, that government has lost its way. When a government locks up leaders instead of listening to them, it is not leading with strength, it is leading with fear. Nigeria must do better. The world is watching. But it is not only about Nnamdi Kanu and the Igbo people. We must also speak about the persecution of Christians in Nigeria. Too many times, churches have been attacked, burned to the ground. Too many families have lost loved ones. Too many innocent men, women, and children have been slaughtered simply for their faith. It is one of the great human rights tragedies of our time, and it is happening right now. Every man and woman should have the right to worship freely, to gather in peace, and to live without fear of being attacked. Religious freedom is not negotiable. It is a God-given right. And when Christians are being murdered and their voices are being ignored, that is not only a Nigerian problem, that is a global problem. To the leaders of Nigeria, I say this, the world is watching you. History is watching you. Release Nnamdi Kanu. Stop the persecution of the Igbo people. Protect Christians across your land. Show the world that you are ready for peace, for justice, for fairness. Because a nation that persecutes its own people cannot stand strong. To the international community, I say, do not remain silent. Do not turn your back. Silence only empowers the oppressor. We must speak for those who cannot speak. We must stand for those who are silenced. The people of Nigeria deserve the same freedoms, the same justice, and the same dignity as every other people on earth. I say to the Nigerian youth, you are the future. You are strong, you are smart, and you are the hope of your nation. Do not lose hope. Do not be afraid to stand for justice, because the world is beginning to hear your voices. And I say to the Igbo people, your struggle is seen, your pain is recognized, your contributions to Nigeria, to Africa, and to the world will never be erased. You are not forgotten, and you will never be forgotten. Let this be a turning point. Let this be the time when justice prevails. Let this be the moment when the government listens to the cries of its people. The immediate release of Nnamdi Kanu is the first step toward healing, toward peace, toward unity. Nigeria is too great a country to be torn apart by division, injustice, and persecution. It is time to choose freedom over fear, justice over oppression, and unity over division. So once again, I am calling, as strongly as possible, release Nnamdi Kanu now. Protect the Igbo people. Protect the Christians. Restore freedom. Restore justice. Restore hope. God bless the people of Nigeria. God bless the oppressed. And God bless the freedom-loving people all over the world. Thank you very much.
In Finland, for you to convict a criminal of a crime, there must be a proven case of crime, not just statements. Which means you have to match statements with action. In the case of Simon Ekpa, one of the charges against him was that he impersonated. They say he impersonated being a lawyer when he is not a lawyer. Now I want to ask, what is the evidence of Simon Ekpa performing as a lawyer in a Finland court or presenting himself to anybody, any client in Finland. Has anybody come out to say that Simon Ekpa represented him or her in court or collected legal fees from them or other services as a lawyer when he is not? Is there anybody in Finland? And according to the Finland laws, mere statements cannot be used to convict a criminal. So if Simon Ekpa actually said that he is a lawyer, introduced himself as one, that is just a mere statement. And I'm going to quote Finland law here for you. It is clear and simple as day. Under Finnish law, Finland law supports the idea that to convict somebody, there must be an action, which is actus reus, not just statements of intention. Simple. And I want to ask also, where was this impersonation all these years? He has lived his life, he has served Finland. Where was this impersonation? Why is it just being found now that you are trying to forcefully prosecute him on the request of Nigerian government? Listen to this. In Finland, a crime actually requires actus reus, which is some physical act. So it is clear. How did you come about convicting Simon Ekpa on impersonation? How? Also, I want to ask, did he swindle anybody using the false guise that he's a lawyer? Did he commit any fraudulent activity as he was saying that he's a lawyer? Did he use it to commit any fraud? Did he misrepresent himself as a lawyer and use it to commit atrocity? Also, who did Simon Ekpa impersonate? What lawyer name did he use? What bar number did he use? What code? Because before you can say you're a lawyer, you must prove that you're a lawyer to whoever is listening to you to believe you that you're a lawyer. You will quote, your number of your bar number. You will quote where you are. You will quote cases you have won. You will also quote some legal, presence that proves that you are a lawyer, because they all have codes everywhere in the world. What evidence do you have that Simon Ekpa used such to identify himself? Who did he represent himself at? And also, did Simon Ekpa appear in court as a lawyer? Did he ever appear in court? Identify himself as a lawyer? Did you catch him red-handed doing that? Or are you basing your conviction on mere statements and hearsay? Because as far as I'm concerned, if not that Nigerian government had a request from you, Simon Ekpa would have been walking free in Finland by now. There would have been no such thing on any allegation of tax or of impersonation on his head. All this was brought up because of the case that has been created by Asari Dokubo on behalf of Nigerian government, supplying the Finland government, and also the negotiations that has been going behind. And now, the Finland government does not have enough to nail him on terrorism charge and decided to cook up other stupid, I call it stupid charges. Any charge that you cannot boldly convict a man of, unless you are forcefully trying to convict him, you now force the charge so that you can sentence him. That is a stupid charge. Any charge that will never arise if to say you never had plan to imprison him, that is a stupid charge. And the last time I checked, the prosecutor, Sam Sahakala, never mentioned this impersonation during the interview of when Ekpa was in court on July. He never mentioned it as part of the trial, as part of the crime he was committed. Because left for me, there is nothing in the case of impersonation. Because you cannot prove who he impersonated. Neither can you prove when he arrived in court dressed like a lawyer, or which office did he open as a chambers and used to practice. Who did he give legal advice as a lawyer? And which stamp did he use, to do his lawyer job? This is a simple case of judging a case without presenting the facts and the judgment that you use to judge a case. I've always said it. Bring the C to C. Bring the true copy of the court's, judgments. Let us see and know the truth behind this conviction. Because as far as I'm concerned, this thing people are doing is not clear. People need to know. A man that has served your country for years, a man that gave your country his best life, his youth, served in your army, served in your politics, influenced social life positively, pays his tax regularly, law abiding. He does not have any criminal charge. There is not a charge on Ekpa before this nonsense came up. He has been law abiding, elected into office and served the people. And I'm sure in serving Finland, he saved lots of lives. Because a leader's job is to steer the ship of the people he's leading. Simon Ekpa saved lives of people in Finland through the army. He protected the integrity of Finland, defended the territorial integrity using his life. If he had lost his life all this while, what do people say? If he had lost his life defending Finland, by now he would be a hero. I'm sure he took some cane, bullets, slabs, hits. Simple. And look at the way you people are treating somebody who served your country because of oil, gas, money, whatever. To be poor as a country is not the problem. But to be poor mentally as a country is the problem. So Finland, you seem to be a poor country because you do not have the guts to stand firm in injustice. You close your eye when you see things happening in Nigeria. How they pamper bandits, how they supply them weapons, how they show them locations of where Nigerian army are so they can come and ambush the Nigerian army. How they grant them amnesty, the terrorists that you know. The news that you hear from Nigeria every day on the buyings of Christians. Donald Trump spoke about it. The systematic unaliving of Christians in Nigeria. Nigeria ranks among the top 3 countries in the world of persecution against Christians. You close your eye, you don't see that. And who are the Christians in Nigeria? They are the Igbos. No other tribe has the largest population of Christians in Nigeria except the Igbos. Fact check it. So who are the Christians they are buying in Nigeria? It is the Igbos. It is the Igbos. Simple. So you can call it the systematic cleansing of Igbo. Substitute that name, Christians. Then you replace it with Igbo, then you get what is actually happening in Nigeria. And yet you pretend like you don't see it. Then when they tell you that there is an injustice going on against Igbo, you pretend you don't know. At least to fold your hands and watch would have been better. But now you are a participant in the same injustice against Igbo. You are now a participant because it is on history that you have prisoned, you have jailed a Christian from Nigeria. Yes. You have jailed them. That's on your record. It's a shame. A big shame. Mazi Simon Ekpa is innocent of all crimes. If you cannot present the court documents that indicted him, show us the evidences you presented to indict him. If you don't do this, we'll take it that your country has delved into high level of judicial impunity, judicial witchcraft, judicial witch hunt, and high-level high-handedness and corrupt judiciary. Simple. It's a shame. A hoax. Justice will come from the Igbo. Justice will come from God.
Have you seen it? Now the Britain, Canadian government, and equally also Brazil and some other countries have fully recognized Palestine just because the Israel are the one in the forefront destroying them. You see, but Nigeria have been destroying Biafrans since 1967 to these days. How many years now? But the whole world keep their ear deaf and dumb for things that concerns Africa. What an hypocrisy. But however it is, Biafra is always on the winning side. We shall defeat all our enemies Our story will be told by ourselves. But in this Mazi Simon Ekpa, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, no dare nothing happen to them, because if anything happen to them, this company called Nigeria will be brought down in overnight. It is a promise, it's not a threat. My people, ideology remains ideology. It's an institution. Biafra struggle is an institution that nobody can ever destroy. You can't kill ideology. The more you suppress ideology, the more it works stronger. My people, I'm only a messenger. I come in peace. If you find this video helpful, please spread this message across the globe. And do well to touch a hand for subscribe button. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that whenever we upload a new video like this, you'll be the first person to be notified. In doing this, we shall win the race. Till next time, see you in my next video. Bye for now. Thank you.